You are now listening to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, episode 227, recorded on September 4th, 2016, brought to you by Frigiblast Studios. Hello and welcome to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, your home for quarter munching fun. And I have been trespassing in places I do not belong. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
I didn't ask for these blue cards. Quit giving me these blue cards when I play sealed and Magic. I didn't ask for this. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
You didn't ask for it, but you're gonna get it anyway.
Apparently.
So I take it you've been getting some blue cards out of your sealed packs?
Oh yeah. Two of my last three sealed tournaments, have been. Yeah, let's just give Jason all the blue stuff and.
Yeah, not really your favorite color, huh?
No. Been waiting for the epiphany I had in Versus with Doom because the easiest correlation between Versus and Magic, Doom would be blue. I mean, blue is the permission color in Magic.
Yeah, they're very tricky.
Yeah. But, it's just, I just hate getting, if that's what's there, I mean, I'll play it. I won't be happy about it, but it's not gone well the last Sunday at Grand Prix Indy Super Sunday Series, and yesterday at the Seal PPTQ.
Yeah. So how did it go? I don't know if I saw all the updates you made.
Okay, well, we need to transition into that because that's now playing.
I see. I'm switching it up there, huh?
Well, yeah, because I mean, this is literally half of my this is half of my time.
I know. I just thought, hey, let's switch it up a little.
Yeah, it's like 45%, 45% on 45% Magic, 45% PS4, and like 10% Xbox One. So
yeah, no, I can understand why.
Yeah. So all right. So for those that didn't check or didn't realize, I was at the Magic the Gathering Grand Prix in Indianapolis last weekend. Full weekend of August. The main event was Modern, but we were there on Friday to playing some of the side tournaments, and then Sunday I would either be in day 2 of the main event or play in the main side tournament that took place Sunday morning, one or the other. Get there on Friday just before noon and sign up for the sealed trials. So the winner would get 2 buys into Grand Prix Indianapolis. So you would get wins the first 2. You would get wins for the first 2 rounds and then start 2-0 on round 3. This is a fairly common practice in Magic. Most pro players have 2 buys, or you can win an event that gives you 2 buys. If you play enough Magic events, period, you can get like 1 buy, and then Platinum pros get 3 buys.
Okay.
So I signed up for this event, and it's just kind of sitting at 7 people. And I thought the Modern one, because we're taking sign-ups till we get 32 people, and then we're firing this. And I thought the first Modern one had fired, turned out it hadn't. And I was like, okay, well, let's just go to lunch. So go to lunch in the mall that's attached to the Indy Convention Center. So get back, and yeah, all 6 other people besides me, I find out, have dropped. Because it didn't look like it was going to fire. And by that time, the big modern tournament that started at 1 o'clock had already started. And after the first round of that, a bunch of people dropped for the trial. And they ended up firing like 2 or 3 modern trials. So I'm sitting here like, well, okay, modern's already started. I don't have a standard deck right now. So I guess I'll just twiddle my thumbs and hope sealed happens. And gets around 4 o'clock, and I'm like, well, this is a totally freaking wasted day for me. And then they make an announcement. We will start taking signups for the Mega Sealed trial. Starts at 5 o'clock. We will take signups for the next 15 minutes for that event. And I was like, okay. So I go over there and I was like, yeah, I'm like the only one signed up for the on-demand trial. What's this Mega Seal trial? Well, the prizes are a little different. It's the same cost. You get a free playmat for entering. So I get a free playmat for entering. It's the same cost. Yeah, just switch me to that.
Sounds like a plan.
And there were people behind me signing up for it. So I was like, yes, this will actually fire. And they said, we're firing no matter how many people we have. So I think we ended up with like 15 or 17, I forget. And it was supposed to be 5 rounds because it was 32 people. So they were like, okay, in terms of prizes, you all have a bye round 1. So when it comes to prizes, just consider yourselves 1-0 at the start. Although they won't say 1-0 in the standings. So, right. Normal competitive sealed things, you open your packs, opponent, the person across from you watches you open your packs and lay the cards out and put them face down pile. And then you watch, vice versa. And then you pass the piles across the table, register the cards, and then pass them back, and you have 30 minutes to make a deck.
Okay.
This is where it is good that Jason has pre-sleeved lands. Because this gives you more time to evaluate your cards.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, and I'm seeing like a pile of white, blue stuff. And I'm just sitting here, and it's like halfway through, and it's like, oh man, this is just like it's a deck, but like there's not anything explosive here. There's not any bombs. I really like red black in this format. And I'm always like, I was scared to go red black because it's like I'm always defaulting to red black. And it's like, man, I need to check this red black again. And I lay the red black out and I'm like, this is much better. This is way better. And if I can hit this Fury Blade Vampire, I have so much madness stuff, she's going to attack every turn as a 4/2.
Okay.
4/2 with trample.
Better.
Yes,
yep.
She is a 1/2 for 1 in a red. At the start of combat on your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, she gets +3/+0. So she's a 1/2 trample by default, discard a card, +3, discard a madness card, pay the madness cost, and then, whatever. So, like, I'm playing other creatures, or, and by the tone of my voice, yes, I hit her every match.
Oh, jeez.
And it is just like, I am smashing face. And basically, I go 4-0.
Okay.
I only went to game 3 in the final. So it's 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1.
Nice.
I have like the fastest, most cohesive deck. In round 3, I play the guy that I watched open his cards. He had opened Liliana and Nahiri. The two most powerful two of the 3 most powerful planeswalkers in the format. And there's only 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much Wombo, right there. I mean, basically, I think he played red, black. I forget what was the splash color. He was red, white, black, but I forget what color was the splash. I'm forgetting now, but
Right.
Anyway, and he even also had the premium removal card that's white and black. In game 1, he had that card. He drew that card a few turns in, but I had smashed his face with the Fury Blade Vampire so much, he couldn't afford the 3 life it cost to play that card.
Oh, jeez.
Because it's exile something, you lose 3 life, and he was already at I think he was 7, he said, when he drew that card.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah, and he had Nahiri, but if you play Nahiri into, with you have nothing back, and he's at 7, I mean, Nahiri might be able to exile a tapped creature. She can exile 1 creature, but if I have enough to smash his face, she doesn't do.
She wouldn't help you.
Yeah, well, because it would tick her down so low that I would just attack, 1 creature into her, knock her out and keep smashing face. But yeah, I mean, I just won game, I just breezed by him in 2 games. Then the last match was a little tough. I forget. I think I won the first one, lost the second, won the third quick. Well, the third one took a while. That's right, because I'm sitting there, he's just a couple hits away, but he's stabilized the board. And he's getting ready to just beat me in the face, and I had the 1 vampire in my deck. It normally costs 7 mana, but because I had Delirium, so 4 card types in the graveyard, it only cost 5, and it was a 4/5 flyer. And it was stuck in my hand, and I'm at 4 mana. I was like, I just need a land. I need a land. Top deck the land. Play it. Bam. Bam. Go. And he's at what was he at? He was at 7. And so, his turn, my turn. And I draw, and I have Bane of Emrakul, which is normally a removal spell because it's +3, -3. But on a 4/5, it makes it a 7/2. So I'm play, swing, and he was tapped out, so he couldn't do anything. It's Boon of Emrakul on my guy, make it a 7/2, swing for 7.
It'll do it.
Yeah. And I also had the double strike card if I needed it, but I didn't need it, so.
Jeez.
Yeah. But, so win. And it's okay, I got 2 buys for tomorrow. Woohoo, excellent.
Okay.
And then that meant, well, you have to register, here's the website you go to. Everything will be taken care of. Here's my name in case there's an issue, da-da-da-da-da. Well, go to the website because we have to go out celebrate me winning a sealed trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, none of us have a laptop, so I go to the hotel at midnight, the business center, and they've got Internet Explorer, some old computer, whatever, at the Marriott, and the site won't take my deck list.
Ugh.
And I had to spend 30 minutes typing it in because it's this form, and you start to type in the card name, and then it's you're supposed to pick what card it is. You have to do that, and you have to click on it and say how many copies. Is it main deck or sideboard? And
right.
I was writing down my deck. There's a problem. If you don't touch the keyboard enough on this Marriott computer, it would lock.
Mm-hmm.
It would lock the computer and wipe the browser history. So I was writing down the cards to make sure I had everything right, right. And then the browser, closed. I had to reopen basically this half hour, and then I go to submit, and I'm hitting submit, and nothing happens. It's just so I'm going through the Pastimes website, and it says you can email the deck list. So I'm it's 1 something in the morning, write this email, explain what's going on, the form's not working, the site said I can email my deck list, here's my deck list, duh. So,
okay.
I'm supposed to have with the 2 buys, I was supposed to get an upgrade to the sleep-in special, but, I don't know what's going on, so it's well, I'm going to have to get down there early in the morning anyway with my friend that was also playing.
Yeah.
So I go down there and I go to the list of players and it's like updated as of 8 a.m. I'm like, okay, Billingsley, Jason, 2 buys. Okay, sleep in, yes. VIP, yes. Huh? I got upgraded to VIP for free?
Interesting.
So, yeah, let me get my VIP stuff here. Nobody said this. Like, it literally did not say. If you look at the program, it just says you get upgrade to sleep in special. It does not say you get upgrade to VIP. They decide to upgrade, I guess, everybody that won a trial to VIP.
And what does that mean?
Well, I'll get to that because they did that, but then nobody had a list of who won all the trials. So I had to wait at the registration desk for like 15 minutes before the main event started, before this list of this handwritten list of who won all the trials, you know, the constructed ones, the sealed one, whatnot.
Right.
And then it's like, yep, you know, put my, you know, give me a badge and put my name, you know, in a label, you know, type my name in, and, you know, print a label out, give me a badge. It's like, okay, the VIP lounge is over there. You can go get your stuff. Okay. When you're VIP at Grand Prix, you get your own separate room and pairings, which come out before the pairings get posted for everyone else. You have your own private room, and other perks vary. When Pastimes does it, there's free events that are only for VIPs. You get more event tickets, which I won a bunch. So basically, for being VIP, I got to hang out in a private room with other VIPs and Pastime staff, you know, all weekend, not have to, you know, wait in the noisy main convention room.
Okay.
I got 3 extra promo cards. I ended up with 3 extra play mats between all the stuff I played, plus 1 I'm keeping. Let's see here. I got enough event tickets to redeem 3 of the Grand Prix t-shirts, 2 of which I sold to a local player in St. Louis for $20 each. So that's $40.
Okay, yeah.
Paid for food for the weekend. And then I got a special From the Vault. It's the From the Vault set from 2013, the 20th anniversary set that sealed is worth $150, and I got that for free.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so winning that one tournament on Friday set me up value-wise for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, the one, so even though I didn't play in the Friday free event for VIPs or the Sunday one, I still got the prize tickets and the card packs. You know, oh yeah, I got a water bottle with a, you know, refilling station there, so I always had water with me. They give you a bunch of free snacks. Give me a free tote bag.
Okay, yeah.
So I did play in the free event on Saturday, which was right after the main event. And yeah, opened foil Nahiri, which is worth $35, but she went into my commander deck, and the normal Nahiri was given to my friend who drove up there and organized this, and he was just trading cards. So he was getting me stuff for Legacy Burn.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I also opened the 5th most valuable card in the new conspiracy set from my conspiracy packs that I got for Friday's event. I didn't play it, so that went to be traded as well. It was the 2nd most valuable card that wasn't a reprint. There's a bunch of reprints in Conspiracy 2. But among the non-reprint cards, I got the 2nd most valuable one.
All right.
And that went to be traded. So.
Okay, so how'd you do in the main event?
Let's see here. Outside of my automatic 2 wins, 1-5 drop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But my deck was the 4th most played deck, and the person piloting that deck won with it. I don't know if his list, I'm sure his list may be a couple cards different from mine, but it was the same deck. It was Naya Burn.
Just getting bad draws? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 games where there was one game that I was beat fairly soundly game 1, and then game 2 I lost to a 1-up card in their sideboard that isn't even in there for the matchup against Burn, but it also works against Burn, and I didn't think that deck would have an enchantment I would have to worry about because it was an Eldrazi deck, and I'm like, well, I just need the Path to Exiles, and let's go. And I did. This card is literally in the first set that's legal for Modern. It's in 8th edition. It's called Worship. It's 3 and a white enchantment. If damage would cause you to fall under 1 life, you stay at 1 life. As long as you have a creature on the field.
Oh, jeez.
So it's in the Eldrazi mirror because, like the Eldrazi, is to smash, face, is to get the big Eldrazi from Oath of the Gatewatch out and smash face, but, they don't have enchantment removal, and it's only a 1-of, and it's like, well, that's a pretty good card to put in against Burn. And I've got him dead next turn once I get mana back, and it's like, Worship? What does that do? Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was worried about burning his face off, and that's what I'd been doing, and next turn I had enough mana and cards to burn his face off. Oh, wait. That doesn't do any good now.
Yeah, not anymore.
And my cards to get rid of that are in the sideboard. Because why would Eldrazi have an enchantment? Now I know.
Yeah.
So the other games were all close. They all went 3 games. I just, ran out of gas. The one I did win against Infect, I literally got into a top deck war with an Infect deck and won it. That's my only win on the day. And then I played Infinity and got my face smashed.
Oof.
So, yeah, I mean, of the 5 losses, 2 of them were just legit, like, you just lost. They're not good matchups. You just lost. And the other 3 losses were just super tight, just didn't get there. So, but I was riding high. I'm like, man, and like my friend was like, oh, you need to hide your VIP badge because, like every round in the main event, I'd get my, the pairings would come up for the VIPs. I'd find out what table I was at. I put my VIP badge in my pocket because like, people might try to catch you on a technicality and get you a game loss or say you have marked sleeves or something and be like, oh, I got a game loss on a VIP because his sleeves are worn, or something like that. So, but by the end, I was just like, man, F this. I'm not hiding my damn badge anymore. I didn't hide it at all on Sunday, but I was riding high. I was like, this is my 3rd Modern tournament ever. This is what's going to happen. Welcome to Modern, Jason. Welcome to getting your face smashed in. To be expected. And I'm just riding high off of yesterday. It's like, man, I'm trading in these free points I got. I got these free promos. I got this free draft, 6-pack draft coming up tonight. And then get to that draft and open a foil Nahiri. It's just like, man, this weekend's awesome. And then go into Sunday, and Sunday did not end well at all. I ended up, and this is where the blue cards come in because I open and all I have is blue-white. I have blue-white, all the enchantment removal cards in blue-white with 2 of the good emerge blue Eldrazi creatures. Like, I just have like a blue-white removal into these 2 big creatures deck. And I win the first round with it, and I sit down with my opponent. I'm just like, man, I don't like this deck that much. It's color I don't like, da-da-da-da-da. And I beat him 2-0, and he's like, and you were complaining about that deck? He was a little pissed off. I'm like, I don't like playing blue. I'm sorry. And that was literally my only win. My only other win was because the guy was 9 minutes late coming to the match. And so that was a game loss. 10 minutes late would have been a match loss. So he gets there literally under 30 seconds, he comes up, and I'm like, oh, crap. And so I get one game, we get into game 2, and it's kind of, I hit every removal card in my deck to win. And then the last round, I play a player from Japan, and I try to be very conscious of, because where I grew up is not the most forward-thinking area with other races, but second straight Grand Prix I went to were a Japanese player on the opposite spectrum. This one knew more than I did and screwed me over because I couldn't read his cards.
Oh.
That was, 2014 at Indy. Chicago, I'm sorry. 2016 in Indy, I'm playing someone that doesn't know the rules of the game and is trying to cheat. Or not, cheat's a strong word. He's trying to do things that at competitive REL don't work. And he does one attack where he does an attack of one creature, and I go, that's it. And then he asks a question. Oh, your creature is 4/5? Oh, no, that's not what I'm doing. Okay, and then he untaps his guy, and then he plays a spell. I'm like, what phase are we on? Main 1. And I'm like, Judge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was.
And the judge
sided. A little fiddly, huh?
Yeah, the judge sided with me because he was like, you can't declare an attack, see what your opponent says, take it back, ask a question about
roll back to the previous phase. Yeah, that's a little bit too rule breaky.
Yeah. And then he did something else again with attacks when I started lining up, or it was either when I was lining up blockers or he was lining up blockers, and then I was like this, and then he changed. There was something with that. I mean, there was 3 times I had to call a judge over for no, this is I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a rules lawyer, but this is kind of competitive REL. This is stuff that we can't.
You can't do that on a professional circuit level.
Yeah. Well, there is a different level, and Magic goes there's, I forget what the term for it is, but it's recreational, whatever, Friday night, Magic level, pre-release, whatever. And then there's competitive, and then there's professional.
Well, even on a competitive level.
Exactly. I'm just saying for people that don't know. Magic actually has 3 tiers. I think Versus only had 2. Magic actually has 3 tiers. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just no, the stuff, and the game drags out. I won game 1 and it took 20 minutes. Game 2, I get my best low cost creature out and I enchant it, which once it does damage enchanted, it becomes even bigger. So it's like a 1/1 first strike life link for 1 and a white. If you gain 3 life in a turn, it turns into a 4/4 first strike life link trample. I have an enchantment that gives it 2/2. So I play it to his empty board on turn 2. Turn 3, I enchant it, swing for 3. It transforms. He still has nothing. Swing for 6. So he's down to 11. And then he top decks planes, and he plays the card that kills it.
Jeez.
and I don't have my counter spell that would bounce the spell back to his hand. I had a counter spell that was bounce a creature or a spell on the stack back to your hand, and I didn't have that card yet. I drew it the turn after he killed my guy.
Well.
So the game stalls out, and it goes to turns, and I actually trying to dig. I had a card that would mill 2 a turn, and if it milled, a colorless creature would transform. So I'm just trying to get card advantage and mill cards, and I ended up drawing myself dead in turns. So instead of getting a draw in game 2, which would give me the match win, we each have it ends up being a draw. So I lost out on prizes. I top 64 got prizes, and because of that draw, I got 66th.
Damn.
Yeah. And then at the sealed PPTQ yesterday, before recording this, I opened one of the other Planeswalkers, Tameo. She is Bant. You have to have white, blue, and green. And so I built the deck around her because, if she hits the board, she's really powerful. And I won game 1 of match 1, lost game 2, and misplayed bad in game 3, and lost the match. And then round 2, I faced my PPTQ local nemesis, who also lost round 1, and I get my face smashed in, and I lose round 2. By the way, both of those people ended up in the top 8 of the sealed PPTQ. So I get smashed so quickly in round 2, I'm like, well, let's look at the red-black cards, because I didn't take enough time to look through them. And I actually had a fairly playable, aggressive red-black deck. And I showed people it, and they were like, yeah, you probably should have played that. So basically, I sleeved that deck up, and as long as I start round 1 with the Bant deck, I was like, okay, as soon as I lose a match or lose a game in the match, I'm switching decks. In round 3, I played this dude that's 0. He's a loss and a tie, and he's just got this dirtling white deck, and I just smash his face in 2-0. And then round 4, I lose game 1. I'm like, sideboard. I just grab the other deck, shuffle it up, and I'm like, let's go. And then I was like, so I'm playing red-black, and I die because there's this 4/5 flying demon that mills the top 4 cards when it comes in, but its drawback is if you don't have Delirium, it does 4 damage to you each turn. And I was one card type short of Delirium, so I took 12 damage from it. Well, actually 16, because I conceded the turn before it would kill me. So technically it did 16 damage to me.
Okay.
I was waiting to play that card, but it was like, I have no choice. If I don't play this card, I'm dead. So I got to play the card. And, yeah. And it burned my face. And my opponent was just like, pass, pass, pass. Just let you burn yourself to death. And then round 5, I got a bye. And I ended up 16th, and I got 2 packs. And I didn't get anything. At least Tameo's worth like $10. So, I could sell her, but I'd probably trade her at $10. It's not worth my time doing eBay for a $10 card.
Yeah. So
I'll just trade her.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, that's my Magic. And I pretty much am outside of, I'm pretty much not playing Magic again to the beginning of next month, because now that I've been on a 2-week vacation, my org boss goes on a 2-week vacation. And yeah, I'm pretty much jam-packed until the last week of September. So I'm pretty much not playing Magic again for like a month.
Not even Friday?
I know. I'm going to be working Fridays pretty much. So yeah.
Well, maybe it'd be a good idea to have a small break.
Yeah. Yeah, I did play, 4 competitive level events in the last week-ish.
Yeah. Maybe time to have a little bit of a cool down.
Yeah. All right. So, other than that, let's get to actual video games. Xbox One, I got to play a couple matches one night with, who was I with? I was with Joe, and I think it was Joe and Guile. I can't
Okay.
remember for sure. It was Joe and, or was it Joe and MVP? It was Joe and somebody, I forget. But the Titanfall 2 test, whatever, beta, whatever.
Yeah, the Titanfall 2 technical test.
Yeah,
Yes.
I only got to play it the first weekend because obviously I was in Indianapolis the second.
Okay. Yeah, I actually played both weekends.
Okay. Talk to me about the second weekend because I didn't really get to experience the changes, and I'm not caught up on the Bombcast yet. So
it felt like it was maybe 3 times faster. Like, it felt a little bit too fast almost. But I think they can obviously tweak that. But everyone was saying, oh, it felt so much better the second weekend. It felt just a tiny bit slightly too fast the second weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Even though everyone was complaining, oh, that first technical weekend, yeah, it's too slow. I felt, yes, maybe it was a little slow, but it was probably something I could get used to. The only thing that I was not okay with the first weekend was that the wall running didn't speed you up. Because it did not seem like the wall runs during the first weekend were actually making you gain speed like it did in the original Titanfall. So that got improved during the second test weekend. The other things that they changed during the test weekend was the fact that during the first weekend, it was not doing a countdown until you got a Titan. It was, if you do something, then you'll get percentage towards your Titan. But you don't gain a Titan over time until the second weekend, which they put in the timer again. Although it wasn't actually a timer, it's a percentage gauge this time. So you can't tell exactly how long it is before you actually get your Titan. Yeah, I don't know. The Titans that they had in the technical test, one was a energy cannon Titan who had the energy beam core, and the other one was a fire Titan who had a thermite grenade launcher. They just didn't feel like Titans from the first game at all. The weaponry was not really reflected on the vortex shield of the energy Titan. It didn't seem like that was doing anything. So every time it looked like I'm like, okay, well, if I vortex shield and then send it all back, oh wait, the energy from the opposing Titan doesn't seem like it's actually getting caught in the vortex shield and getting flung backwards. So what good is the vortex shield other than being a shield? It used to be able to use it offensively because everything was a bullet. And if it wasn't a bullet, it was at least slowed down. So, I don't know. Those Titans just didn't feel like Titans from the original game. I don't know. They did keep saying that those were like 2 of multitude of different Titans. So maybe some of the other Titans will feel a little bit more meaty and worth it. But I don't know. Those Titans, they just got shredded so fast. It felt like they were made out of tissue paper. Every time you got in one, somebody would immediately be jumping on top of you. And, oh, well, I guess I'm screwed because I can't get them off because I don't have any of my anti-pilot gear. Because unlike the first game, in which you did have something that was anti-pilot or anti-Titan, it seemed like most of the stuff was just anti-Titan. So, I don't know. I wasn't feeling some of the Titan stuff. And then they were talking about maybe having only the AI in very specific modes, and those modes would be like a minority, and that's not the Titanfall I want. The Titanfall that I love and would continue to play a sequel of has AI in damn near every single mode, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you earn your Titan quickly. You cull through the multitude of AI running around the map, putting damage into you or your enemies, and you earn a Titan. At which point you dash around the field, crushing the enemy AI like so much little specks of bugs getting crushed underfoot of an elephant. Because that's just fun. So, as hyped as I was for Titanfall 2 last episode, I'm not quite as hyped as I was. And it seems to have dropped on my list. So now I'm worried.
Okay.
It felt good otherwise. The second weekend, like I said, it felt like the pilot movement was maybe just a smidge too fast.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's something that they can easily balance.
Yeah.
The brand new things that they were showing off were the 3 different gameplay modes. Amped hardpoint, which you have to run to a hardpoint, and there's no AI in this, so not a mode I was liking.
Right.
You get to the point, you hold down the point long enough, it turns to your color, it lights up, and then it becomes amped up if you stay there longer. I think I failed to grasp the point of amping the hard point, because as far as I could tell, the only thing I was getting out of it was more Titan build to charge. Maybe that's the point? I don't know. So I think I failed to grasp the actual point of that. The other 2 modes were pilot versus pilot. No AI in that one either. So again, wasn't really loving it. And then the final mode was a weird mixture of hardpoint and attrition and like a bank mode system. It was, I can't forget what the name was. I think it was called Bounty Mode. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Bounty Hunt or something like that.
Bounty Hunt? Okay, yeah.
Now that one does have the grunts or whatever.
So that one has AI, but there's a twist. The AI is aggressive towards both teams.
Right.
And it gets dropped into the field, onto the map, at various points on the map. So A, B, C.
Yeah, and eventually there's an AI Titan that's worth a bunch of money.
Some of the waves will have AI Titans that drop, and whoever the last person is that kills that Titan gets a huge bonus bounty.
Yeah.
During the off rounds, when there are no AI spawning, there is a bank that's open.
2. They're on opposite sides.
Two banks that are open on opposite sides of the map. Mm-hmm. So your job at that point is to run to one of those banks and cash in your bonus that you've been accruing by killing the AI and other pilots.
And anytime you die while you have money, you lose half of it.
Yes.
And if it's a human, they steal it. So it's a drain.
Yes.
So they take half your money if a human kills you.
Exactly.
This was the mode I played with Joe and whomever else I was with.
That was the mode that I played the most. So I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't really loving the Titans that much. It seemed like they were strong-ish against pilots, at a distance, but as soon as a pilot can get anywhere near you, they were on top of you, pulling out your battery from your Titan, which is a new mechanic, which steals your entire shield. However, if you were able to kill the opposing player that took your battery, you had the chance to have either a friendly pilot or you yourself grab the battery and plug it back into your Titan, giving you a portion of your shield, but not your Titan's health. So, again, the Titan mechanics in this game, or this tech test, just seemed really weird and odd. It just didn't feel like Titanfall at all. It felt like it was a brand new spin-off of Titanfall. And that was odd to me. So, I don't know. Again, I'm worried, but maybe they can make enough tweaks to it that it works out fine. So, I reserve judgment now. I don't know that I'll be grabbing it day one anymore. Which is unfortunate, because I really liked where they were heading at first. Because over the course of the entire Titanfall 1 lifespan, by the end of it, they had enough modes in it, they had enough interesting ideas going on. All they would have had to do was add a bunch more weaponry, a couple more Titan types for variety, and then just make a bunch of unlocks. So it seems like they got the weapon variety and the unlocks, but they may have messed up the Titan's actual play mechanics a little too much. So now I'm worried. So that's kind of it. I mean, there wasn't really much else to it. There was just 3 days for the tests on each weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I didn't play as much as I would have liked on the final weekend. But I did get in enough to know what the changes were and how I felt about them. So I'm worried. It played fine. It seemed like the network code was working fine. But yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about the gameplay now. So that's kind of all there is really for Titanfall 2 technical test.
Okay.
Now we have to wait with bated breath until the release in October.
Yep, that's how many weeks away now? 1, 3, 4.
It's more than a month.
4.
Month and a half, I think.
It's a little over 7 weeks away.
It's all right. A little over a week and a half. A little over a month and a half.
Oh, 8. Yeah, no, it's 2 months. It'll be 2 months. 2 months as of Friday the 9th. Yes. Or no, 7. Wow. No, sorry. Okay, so Friday, a little over 7 weeks.
Okay. So this would actually have been the 4th week.
It is.
For last week, yes. Would have been the full 4th week.
Yes.
For the 2 months.
Yeah. The 2nd, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, waiting with trepidation.
All right, so moving on from me on Xbox One, I played 1 round of the Battlefield 1 beta last night after I came home from the Magic event. It's Battlefield. I forgot how to mark guys. I forgot that that's right bumper because it'd been so long since I played Battlefield because I was off on PS4 land and I didn't have the Xbox One, and I'm never online at the time when MVP or Joe or whoever is playing it on Xbox One. So, but yeah, I mean, it was Battlefield. Seemed, pretty good. I mean, I only played the 1 round, so.
It's Battlefield with very old weaponry.
Yep. I played as the medic and was like, okay, I was glad. I was like, okay, I can actually revive and toss out health packs starting out. Like some of those games you had to level up to get those skills. So I'm
yeah, that was really that was a really dumb idea in those original games.
Yeah. So I'm glad that fixed that. So
yeah.
All right. So moving on from that, the main game I played on Xbox One, mostly before I went to Indy, a little bit afterwards, was Madden NFL 17. Because I had the free, I had the EA access, play it for up to 10 hours the weekend before it came out. And then I played it very briefly after it came out. And then I played it very briefly this weekend to make sure I got my packs. That I didn't lose out on my packs from my, I got the Super Deluxe Edition, but then I also was able to get a code for the normal pre-order bonus. So I have the normal pre-order bonus stuff plus the Super Deluxe. So,
okay.
So here's the thing, and I probably won't get the Super Deluxe next year because I would rather spend, let's see here. I'd rather spend like, let's say 68, I'd rather spend like, $68 or so and have the deluxe edition on disc and be able to resell the disc than pay $90 for the Super Deluxe, because when it was like, oh, you get 30 all pro packs. So I was like, okay, I bet instead of doing 1 per week for 10 weeks like the normal deluxe does, I bet they do 3 per week for 10 weeks. That, if normally that's what it is, you would think, okay, it's going to be 3 packs a week for 10 weeks. Right? That's what
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I just think that sounds natural, right? If regular Deluxe gets 1 a week for 10 weeks and Super Deluxe gets 30 packs, I mean, I would just think it'd be 3 per week for 10 weeks. No.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's 1 per week for 30 weeks.
Oh.
So I will still be getting Madden packs. And I figured it out. I'd still be getting Madden packs in March. It'll be time for PAX East in Boston, and I'll be on my last Madden packs.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm probably not getting the Super Deluxe version next year. I learned my lesson. I'll just get the regular Deluxe.
Okay.
Because what EA has done after the Super Bowl is put Madden on EA Access. Madden 16 went on EA Access the week after the Super Bowl last year.
Okay.
So I bet they just do that again this year. So it would be sometime in December or so I'll trade the game in, or January, whatever, before the Super Bowl. And then I'll be without Madden for a few weeks. And then bam, I'll get it right back with EA Access.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. So, so this year, they've really tightened up. There's a lot of great stuff with this year's game, and I'll try not to go too much into it because Steven will fall asleep. Basically, they have new commentators. One is kind of a minor commentator on the NFL Network, and I don't know the other guy, what he does without looking it up. But basically, because these guys aren't the national broadcasters, EA has access to them whenever they want. So in addition to play calling updates and things like that, you actually get commentary updates as the season progresses.
Okay.
So, and as a commentary duel, they're much better. It sounds much more natural. It's not, you can tell they were in the same room recording. Unlike previous years where they would get one guy for a couple of weeks and record the lines, and then they'd get the other guy for another couple of weeks and he record his lines separately, and they'd have to mash them together, and it just sounded real unnatural.
Yeah.
Because
I've heard it helps when you have 2 people playing off of each other in the same room.
Yes. So much like for regular voiceover, it'd be the same thing doing it for Madden. So that helps. I'm really hoping next year we get like the stylized storyline career mode that FIFA's getting. Although on the FIFA one, it kind of locks you into one guy, but it seems like it'd be really interesting to play, and I wonder if they'll do something like that with Madden. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then the defense is much better this year. Instead of just like zone, like the players when they're in a zone defense, they're in different types of zones. Like the defense is greatly improved, and the aggressive catch, just throw it deep and let your guy jump up and catch it. That is nowhere near as automatic as it was last year. It can still happen, but the defense is much, much better at stopping that this year. So I'm much happier with the game. I haven't figured out quite how the Ultimate Team stuff works, because, I mean, there's another good thing. The contract aspect of the game, they took that out for multiplayer. The contracts now only matter when you're doing the single-player stuff.
Okay.
And they instituted the salary cap mode that was patched in last year. So basically you have to keep your team under a certain salary, like each player is worth a certain amount of points depending on their rating. So you have to keep your team under that amount of points. And you have the draft champions, and you can play the normal or you can play the ranked, which costs the tickets, the event tickets, which was all patched in last year. And if you can actually grind out all the solo challenges, you get some really good, like the best cards in the game right now, and you can use them for like up to 15 seasons. And then even the promo cards you can use somewhat. Like I said, I haven't quite had enough time to figure out how all this stuff works, and I haven't had time to try to finish all the solo stuff, because the main game that I've been playing, and I'm about almost halfway through it, is Deus Ex Human Revolution on the PS4.
Okay, now we're into something I'm interested in here.
Did you like the previous game?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Then you're gonna like this game.
Cool.
I mean, very similar stuff. Everything is not black and gold.
I mean, I liked that aesthetic enough that it was alright.
It still has kind of the aesthetic that it had, but it's just not like everything is just not black and gold. So I mean, there's more color in the game. The game starts off. It does a really nice way of Metroiding Adam Jensen. And there's good storyline reason and like side quests that, why you have to re-level stuff. I mean, there's reasons for this, and they actually tie it into a couple side quests, and they do a real good job there. They introduced one of the major role players from the previous game, and one of the other major role players is in the first DLC pack of the season pass, and that comes out in like a couple weeks here.
Oh, interesting.
And then
the season pass is all story mode stuff?
It is 2 story missions and then a bunch of stuff you get up front to redeem. So it's like 5 praxis kits, which are the things you get to level up. That's what you spend either 1 or 2 of per thing on the augmentation tree. It costs 2 to initially unlock something, and then if it has more abilities, each additional ability costs 1.
Okay.
So a lot of the same ones return from the previous game, but there are these experimental ones which are discovered at the beginning of the game that you had no idea were in you. And they even tie it in as to when it happened that they got put in. Like, I'm in the middle of getting ready to start that side quest to try to figure that out.
Okay.
So it took place near the end of Human Revolution is when at least the storyline wise, it seems like that these hidden augmentations were put in. And they're so powerful that they tax your system to where until you finish the side quest that gets you this item that eliminates the need to do this, if you want to use one of the experimental augments, you have to disable a normal augment that you haven't put any points into.
Okay.
So, like, I had to disable, like, right now, I have the new Tesla one I spent some points in, and I had to disable something else. I forget what I had to disable without having the game near me. I had to disable something to because otherwise your system will glitch out. And I didn't risk being overloaded or whatever. I redeemed the Tesla stuff and turned off something I didn't use. And once the side quest is completed, then I won't have that restriction anymore. I highly recommend the Tesla because it will stun the robotic enemies. There are some enemies, there are some cops and some enemies that are in basically mech suits. And the Tesla will stun them, whereas your normal tranquilizer and stun gun won't. So you can Tesla them and then go behind them and do a takedown. You can't do a takedown on them from in front because they'll counter it, even while stunned. And because I have the guide, of course, I also saw that the final boss is vulnerable. The only boss in the game actually is vulnerable to Tesla. So if you can get, so unlike Human Revolution, if you're like, man, I want that trophy achievement for no kills, trust me, if you spec out properly, you can do it. It may take you a few restarts or whatever, but you can do it. And the final boss is easy to take down non-lethally. Like, that's literally the way you should do it, because it's way easier than actually fighting him. Okay. Like because the guide is like, here's the combat path, here's the stealth path. And the combat path's like, do this, da 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 da. The stealth path is like, Tesla him and take him down. Done.
Well, it sounds kind of boring, though, that you already know how to do all that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's getting to there and then experiencing the story and stuff. Story's really good. It's kind of, there's not as many laptops and stuff to open, to hack into. There are still some, and you get some of the backstory, and then the ebooks. There's a trophy for finding all the ebooks, and I mean, they give some backstory as well. A lot of people with pocket secretaries around, you have to make sure to read all of them, because 9 times out of 10 you find a pocket secretary, it has either a PC password or it has a code to a panel, so you don't have to hack it. That's like 90% of the pocket secretaries. There are 10% that are just story related, but they're few and far between. Usually you find a secretary, you're like, okay, I got a code for something. And then, so it's kind of cool, with the backstory and everything. I'm just now starting to get into, I'm in the middle, like I said. So the main hub city is Prague, and like you have a thing that you have like a tutorial / opening mission where you're in Dubai, and then events happen, and you go to Prague, and events happen, and then Metroidification of Jensen happens, and you have to start over from scratch. So you're going through Prague. And then eventually you have to go to this city outside of Prague. Basically, every time you leave Prague, that's like the end of the act. So I am in Act 2, essentially. And like, it's kind of cool when you transition back to Prague, because like Detroit, the entire game in Human Revolution took place at night. Like, everything was dark. You were never...
for the most part,
you were never out in the day. Well, the first mission is during the day. The first part of Prague is day. The second part of Prague is night. I don't know about the third part, because I obviously haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are day-night transitions, so that's kind of cool to see. And the beautiful thing about that game, like Shinobi on Twitter from NeoGaf and Twitter said, just the way the world is a living world. Like, I mean, I love Dragon Age. I mean, Dragon Age isn't quite the living world. Sometimes you get some of the conversations that come in over the speaker, but like Witcher and Deus Ex do a really good job of in the world, like, you know, the people are, you can overhear the stuff and people are going about and they feel like living worlds. They both do a really good job with that. Okay, so the side quests, some of them tie into the main quest, some don't. And the ones that don't are really good and really interesting. Like, murder happens outside your apartment, and that, you know, that storyline happens. And then there's the stuff I mentioned before with that's related to your abilities being, you know, your augments and whatnot, and that stuff's really cool. There's some weird, there's this underground journalism group that's investigating the company that's the front for your Interpol group, and so you have to interact with them. So, you know, it's a lot of interesting stuff. The side quests are worth doing, and it's not like Dragon Age Dragon Age isn't that bad. It's not like Witcher, where there's like so many side quests, or Skyrim or Fallout or whatever, where there's so many side quests and you're just like, oh my gosh, there's like 10-ish side quests. They're all really good and you should do them all. And plus, you get more XP for doing them, which helps you level up. And you get more praxis kits, so you can unlock more augments.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that is totally optional to do, but knowing how your attitude has been with Tales of Vesperia in the past, you're not going to like.
What?
The praxis kits and credits can be bought on the PSN and Xbox, and I'm sure Steam as well.
Let's sigh.
I did not do it, but
okay, good.
But it is there. However, for buying the season pass, I did get 5 praxis kits.
Oh, buyer beware. Those are all one-time use stuff.
That's what I was getting to. So yeah, so I got 5. Now I think the weapons carry over to multiple playthroughs because I also got the weapon kits. But
that might be the only thing.
Yeah, so like the praxis kits I got, and like the credits and stuff like that, yeah, that is only for this one playthrough, and that's it. Yeah, so I was getting to that.
Yeah, so that's a bad deal. So don't buy those.
Yeah, I mean, I got the season pass, so I'll get the.
Yeah, but I'm saying even the stuff you got with the season pass.
Yeah,
that's one-time use.
I did not know that when I bought it, but oh well.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's not great.
That makes it almost not even worth it.
Yeah, I can concur. I mean, I'm okay with it, but yeah, it's not great.
Why did they think that, okay, this is a good way to do it? What possible idea made them think that this was good? A good implementation of how to do this?
Well, Square Enix is desperate for money, so...
That does not mean you get to screw over consumers.
Yeah.
So... just want to make sure people understand all of those things that are one-time use.
Yep.
They are not remotely worth buying.
Yep. So just beware.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying that game, and I kind of want to get through it and complete it and try to get into, like, Doom was $20 at GameStop. So, like, I bought it while it was cheap because I need to get through that, and I need to get through Uncharted before some of these other games come out, so I can be more prepared for Game of the Year, because I've yet to play Doom and Uncharted. I mean, I kind of know...
Oh, we are going to have so many games in contention this year. There's some real good games that came out.
See, this year I am not like last year where it was like I'm down to like my 6th pick because you weren't going to go with the top 5.
I'm just saying there's a lot of really good games that came out this year.
I'm kind of this year, I'm kind of like, Like, I know what my game of the year is right now, but I need to play Doom and Uncharted. Outside of that, I know what my game of the year is right now.
Yeah.
And it's on a system nobody bought.
So Vita?
No. Was
Okay.
Tokyo Mirage.
Oh, the Wii U.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. Like I said, a lot of good games.
Yeah.
I stand by my statement.
I don't know. I felt better last year. I thought I had.
We are not even over with the year yet. Come on.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. I mean,
we have a lot of games to go before the end of the year.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, I am done. So, Steven, what else have you been playing?
Okay, so we'll just get Titanfall 2 out of the way, just because that's the quick quick one we already covered.
Yeah, we already covered that.
So that's one of the multitude of things that I've been playing. And then we'll quickly hit the repeats, and then we'll go into the one tiny new thing that is DLC for a game that I've been playing for way too long. Alright, so I played a little bit more of Hearthstone on my Android tablet. I did get in that first, the first wing, or pre-wing battle of One Night in Karazhan. The, story expansion for Hearthstone.
Right,
So I got in the prelude battle of, like, how did we get into this raucous party? Well, Madive has sent out invitations to create a ridiculous, just massive party, and then a demon decides, hey, I want to come to the party. So Madive has to battle the demon, and Madive has some ridiculous powers that are really kind of awesome. So you get to play around with Madive, the mage, and his ridiculous abilities, and some ridiculous, really overpowered cards, and it's kind of fun. So that's a really good opening battle for that. Then I think that was unfortunately all that was available to me at the time, so that's where I had to stop. So we'll see how much gold I can save up if I maybe plunk down a little bit of money for it or not. I don't know. I probably would, because just Hearthstone is still such a really fun game to play. But that's about all I did, other than maybe I think I played at least 1 or 2 tavern brawls, which were different for the 2 weeks. So that's about it there. Played a little bit of League of Legends on PC as well, just leveling up, unlocking new heroes. So that's about it. Then I was also playing some Heroes of the Storm, same thing, unlocking new hero for gold. I finally unlocked, oh god, why am I forgetting his name? I just unlocked him, like 2 days ago. Uther, that's it. So I've got my dedicated healer in Uther, who stuns people and heals. So it's a pretty good combo. And leveled up a couple times. So other than that, really not much else. It's really not much else for that. So I continue to play and be happy that I play both League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm. Then I was playing a bunch of Destiny for Xbox One, some Iron Banner for the last time before the new expansion comes out.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome. Still really fun to play Iron Banner. Like, to the tune that I got a little bit of new gear for, I want to say, my hunter, because my hunter did need some new gear, just based on the fact that I cannot find any hunter gear that is actually spec'd out decent and actually looks good. I have so much trouble with my hunter and getting a look that I like on the armor. I can kind of get the stats I want, but then getting him to a point where he looks acceptable to where he's not looking like he got tossed into a closet full of clothes and walked out with like 10 different things piled on from 10 different locations. That's a little harder to do. So that's kind of my one thing that I was doing with my hunter during the Iron Banner, was trying to get some Iron Banner clothes. To be fair, I did get some boots so that my boots didn't look weird. But I still have to use that weird looking hunter Iron Banner cape, because I just don't like that weird looking wolf head on the cloak on the Iron Banner one. It just doesn't look right. So I was sort of stuck using that, though. Hopefully I'll be able to find something that suits my taste a little bit better once Rise of Iron hits on the 20th. So now it's just a matter of waiting and finishing up one last thing. Kicking Oryx to the curb on Heroic. And I will have done every single thing you can do in Year 2. And that's pretty much it for Destiny. And the last thing that I was playing was Dragon Age Inquisition on the Xbox One. I was finally putting in my dues and went through the Trespasser DLC.
Yes! You totally don't get that reference in the hand motion that I'm doing, but everybody else out there does.
Actually do. I actually do, and that makes me unhappy that I do get it. Because wrestling. Why?
Did you watch the PAX Rumble?
No. But I know enough wrestling out of osmosis from all the other podcasts that I listen to. And that makes me kind of sad. But anyway. So I was trespassing where I didn't belong in Trespasser for Inquisition. Going where all the Illuvians finally were able to take me.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's probably a better story than a large portion of the main game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, there were a bunch of people on Twitter that, there was somebody that sent a tweet to Mike Laidlaw. I guess they had just gotten done with Trespassing. They're like, when's the next Dragon Age? And he said, I literally have no idea.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like, I could go for another set of adventures in that world.
Yeah, I mean...
Because that actually was like, sure, let's keep going.
Yeah, the way that ends is just like...
It's like, ooh, now we got a secret organization maybe going on or something.
Yeah, and just like what happens there, and I mean... You obviously know who the new big bad in Thetis is.
Yeah.
And you know...
Well, I mean, there's technically two big bads, really, if you think about it. It kind of is. I mean, you're thinking you have two giant problems that are going on at the moment. And they could easily pick up with any one of those two. Threat of a war... and threat of world-ending destruction.
Alright, so I'll have to see if I can link these tweets. September 3rd, nothing's been announced. Big focus on Mass Effect Andromeda right now.
Which I'm fine with, because I would love to go back into space. But I really do hope that they continue with this story.
But if you look at Mike Laidlaw's Twitter, it is basically nothing but Dragon Age cosplayers, because PAX is going on right now. So, and BioWare is there in force.
Well,
and
I think Dragon Age Inquisition, or just Dragon Age in general, costumes are slightly easier to do.
Yeah.
Because with Mass Effect stuff, that's a little more complex, and you gotta get the futuristic kind of look going for it. Whereas Dragon Age stuff, you just have to get the right kind of look on the clothing. And that's actually a lot easier to do.
Here's the one I was saying from the second, and he bolded this for some reason. I didn't know you could do this on Twitter, but he bolded and enlarged the text. I honestly have no idea. Somebody was like, when can we expect Dragon Age news? So,
well, maybe we can hopefully hear about something new next year.
I hope, because
maybe.
That, like we're saying, and
just a tease, like, hey, we're working on something Dragon Age related. The only really downside to that entire thing is I still just did not love the combat system. It just didn't do much for me.
I'm still saying I think that's because of being a rogue. Rogues have never been... I've never liked the rogue combat in Dragon Age. I just haven't.
I mean, you're probably right, but I thought, oh, okay, since I was a warrior in Dragon Age 2, let's try something completely different.
Yeah, and I just kind of went with warrior. That's just kind of been my default in every Dragon Age, and the mages have been fun. If I ever do the second playthrough, it's definitely, because if I do all I have to do is a second playthrough without even worrying about the side quest, and I can platinum Dragon Age on PS4. I just have to do it on Nightmare. Like, I just have to do a Nightmare playthrough, and that's all I need because I've got, like, everything else of the core game. Because to get the platinum, you don't have to get the DLC trophies. You just have to have the core.
Yeah, because I was going to say, well, there's a bunch of, like, sigils or something now that are all achievement-based. And I think they have a ton of different requirements, so... Like, get this X story beat while using this sigil.
Yeah, that's tied into the trespasser. It's basically to add more value in multiple playthroughs. It's difficulty modifiers, essentially.
Yeah, but that's not something I would think is that's a fun to me.
Yeah, it's not to me either, and I wouldn't mess with it. But I mean, it's there, so.
Yeah, well, no, I had my one playthrough of 100 and something plus hours.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I had to. I was telling you before we started, I had to uninstall Dragon Age and all the DLC because my 2 terabyte internal drive on PS4 is starting to get full.
Yeah, speaking of hard drive space dwindling, after installing the free game for Xbox One this month, I had like 89% full. So once I finished up with Dragon Age and the credits rolled and the end credit sequence that's funny with Cassandra reading some stuff.
Yeah.
Just off the cuff. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So once that happened and I got back to the main menu, I was like, okay, it's good. Good. Click, manage game, uninstall everything because my god. That cleared up 20+% on my hard drive.
Yeah, that's
I'm down to 60-something% now.
Yeah, I mean, on PS4, Dragon Age with all the DLC and patches, I think was like 65 gigs for me.
I think it was something close to that.
It should be.
On Xbox One. Yeah. Because they're pretty similar size-wise.
Yeah.
So I had fun with it, though. Other than that minor gripe, I just wasn't really loving the combat system.
Okay.
Other than that, I had a lot of fun with that story.
Yeah.
Didn't get married, though.
Oh.
I guess I chose the wrong dialogue option?
Well, you had to, in the beginning, before the main quest starts to take off. And,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, you had to...
I talked to everybody. I guess I just made one choice that you didn't?
Yeah, well,
I guess.
Well, I mean, I was a female, and I had Cullen. And yeah, I mean, because it's not hard at all. There's like literally one dialogue option, and you're like right in front of the chapel where it happens. So I don't know. I don't remember who you romanced or.
Oh, it was Blackwall.
Okay. Yeah, it can happen. I know if you YouTube it, there's scenes of...
I just chose the wrong dialogue option, apparently.
Yeah. Well, also Blackwell's kind of tough because it would also probably depend on how his side story concluded, how you were with his side story in the main game. That might have affected it as well.
It kind of ended a little bit on the happy note, as far as I could tell. It played out fine, though. The way it played out in my story was just fine. So, I mean, that was the only thing that was very different. Because apparently we chose the same final option for the fate of the Inquisition. So you and I chose the same one.
Yeah.
We wound up in exactly the same position. So, well, my adventures in, what's the name of the... Thetis?
Thetis is yes.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of the world was for a second. So yeah, there's my time with the Inquisition and running around Thetis is pretty much done until there's another game.
Yep.
So that's kind of all I was playing. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I mean,
so
how about we do coming soon for September?
Okay, let's hit it. Alright, so what games are coming out this next month here?
There's quite a bit, so you can definitely tell it's September. Stuff is picked up here. Although this first week is the light week, but after that, there's heavy hitters and some also rans pretty much every week. This week is pretty much just also rans. So, Just Sing, Ubisoft's new game.
Maybe it won't be Shake the Controller to Win?
I guess not, because I mean, Just Dance is still a thing, but apparently now there is Just Sing is coming out.
Well, if it involves singing.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't just be shaking controllers to win.
Yeah. So that comes out on PS4 and Xbox One this week. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 on PS3. We will get to the other version of that in a bit. You're going to ask me about this, and I have no idea what it is. Toho Ginso Rondo Bullet Ballet for PS4?
Sounds like a bullet hell shooter.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm just going off what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's...
Or some type of
impression I'm getting.
Crazy action game. I don't know. And Friday the 9th, Elder Scrolls Online Gold Edition for PS4 and Xbox One.
So all the DLC, I'm guessing?
Yeah, all the add-ons.
Okay.
All right, going to September 13th. NHL 17 for Xbox One and PS4. Batman the Telltale Series Season Pass Disc. I hate those things.
With only one episode on the disc.
Yes, and the others you have to download for everything but Wii U.
Again, this just reinforces I will not buy Telltale stuff except PC.
Yeah.
I will just download it through Steam. At which point I will just always have everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with PS4, but It's just, I just hate, and they're all in on it too. I thought at first, that was just a Microsoft thing with Minecraft last year, but no, they already announced November.
Well, they've also got a season 2 of Minecraft story mode.
Right. But
So.
yeah, and then that's not, you have to download that. But
Yeah.
I was getting to Walking Dead season 3 is, it starts in November, and there's going to be a season pass disc on it as well.
Huh.
So yeah, so we're all in on the season pass disc with one episode on the disc, and you have to download the rest, and it's just. Ugh. But,
maybe just barely a maybe. They'll actually put out a full disc eventually.
No, they didn't for Minecraft.
Well, that's because there's more seasons.
Well,
so maybe they're not gonna do that for mine. Maybe. Again, tiny little piece of hope that maybe they would do that.
I don't share that.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't see why they would confuse the market, and the retailers probably wouldn't want another.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, BioShock the Collection for both each full, PS4, Xbox One. Pro Evolution Soccer 2017, PS4 and Xbox One. NASCAR Heat Evolution for PS4 and Xbox One. Finally got NASCAR again. Dead Rising 1 HD for PS4 and Xbox One. Yes, HD is part of the title, even though it originally released on 360, which is technically HD.
Well, I mean, they probably up-res a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Something you're interested in, Recore for Xbox One.
Yeah, buddy.
And Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness for PS4.
Okay.
And then on Friday the 16th, and going by previous years, even though this is supposed to be the early tip-off access, generally you can just buy it on the 16th if you didn't pre-order, but NBA 2K17 on everything but Wii U. All right, moving on to the 20th, something you're interested in, Destiny, what's the expansion called?
Rise of Iron.
Rise of Iron, but also if you're just now wanting to get into Destiny, Destiny the Collection is out on PS4 and Xbox One, and this is Destiny with everything.
Yes. Now is the perfect time to get into Destiny.
Yeah, because if you were on the 360 and PS3 versions, you're pretty much screwed now and have to... There was something where there was like a 1 week thing where you had to change your character over that week or something, right? Something?
No, you can start up your game and it'll ask you to import.
Okay.
From now on.
I don't know, like... there were some people that were getting confused because, like, there was one random week in August which just caused a mad rush of buying Xbox Ones.
Which, it was probably that 1 week where they debuted the weird message.
Yeah.
When you started Destiny of, okay, as of X date, you will no longer get access to the live events in Destiny, such as Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and anything else going forward.
Okay, that must have been what it was, because there was just a mad rush on Xbox Ones some random week in August. So,
and it basically stated you need to transfer your character permanently over.
Okay, so yeah, that explains it. Then
it was a one-time thing.
Okay,
but that'll happen anytime somebody loaded up a brand new version of the game.
Okay,
and it's a one-time thing.
All right, so also on the 20th, the Killer Instinct Definitive Edition on Xbox One. So all 3 seasons plus the bonuses.
Oh, okay, all 3. That's okay.
I'm assuming it's the Definitive Edition.
Sure.
Yeah, all 3. So,
I mean, I think they also had plans to do another season potentially.
Maybe, but I don't
think it was anything concrete yet.
I don't have 3. 1 was free with gold, and I bought 2 on sale.
Yeah, I got currently season 1, and that's it.
Yeah, I've got 1 and 2, but all right. I hate this title just by the name. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs World Tour for PS4.
That is literally the longest title I've seen for one game.
That's like some of the Yu-Gi-Oh ones might have been close to that, but
I still think this one wins out.
I think it does too. It's been a while.
That's just a great jumble of words that I love.
All right, Air Conflicts.
No clue what it is though.
Yeah, the game was originally on PS3. I don't know if this is an up-res or a new one, or I don't know. I don't know. It's some Japanese game that didn't review very well, I remember.
Oh, goody.
Air Conflicts Double Pack for PS4. So this is the last two PS4 Air Conflicts games in one pack.
Okay.
We'll hear more from them in a moment. And then we get the weird Microsoft split that is starting with this game, continues with Gears, and also continues next year into Halo Wars 2.
Which was delayed.
Huh? It's no longer in February?
Oh, wait. So that wasn't new. Why would they put out a new... Man, sometimes the news stories that I get in my inbox just don't make any sense from GameSpot.com.
Okay, I don't know. But anyway, so
I saw that and I was like, oh, they must have just delayed this stuff. Apparently that wasn't the case. So, good on them for confusing me.
Okay, so here's the deal that I'm referring to. If you get the Ultimate Edition of either Forza Horizon 3, which is September, Gears of War 4 in October, or Halo Wars 2, whenever that is next year.
That's February.
Okay. You get it on Friday. So in this case, Forza Horizon 3 Ultimate is Friday, September 23rd.
Okay.
And it is a separate street date for the normal version. So if you do not get the Ultimate Edition of Forza Horizon 3 or Gears or whatever, you do not get it until the following Tuesday. So Forza Horizon 3 Vanilla releases September 27th.
Ah, okay.
And with two separate, unlike NBA that just lists one street date, and knowing how NBA has happened the last few years, Microsoft seems to be sticking to their guns. They have two separate street dates for Forza, Gears, and Halo. So I'm going that's what's going to happen. If you do not get the Ultimate Edition, you have to wait 4 days. So
I mean, that seems fair-ish.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. So that's Forza Horizon 3. And then bleeding into the 27th, besides Forza Horizon 3 Vanilla, we've got FIFA 17 on everything but Wii U.
Yep.
The game I'm looking forward to, XCOM 2, PS4, Xbox One.
Okay.
Give me my XCOM. Dead Rising 2 HD, PS4 and Xbox One. You're going to ask me about this, and I don't know because they don't even have cover art for it. Valhalla Hills on PS4 and Xbox One?
You're right. I would ask if you knew.
I don't. There's no cover art even, so...
That's weird. All right.
The aforementioned Air Conflicts has a new one, Secret Wars, on PS4.
Okay.
Downloadable game put onto a disc alert, Shantae Half Genie Hero for PS4 and Wii U.
Cool.
The one new retail Wii U release that is not an old Wii U game with an amiibo for September, because there's a bunch of those.
Well, they have to stretch that out a little bit, so.
The Dwarves on PS4 and Xbox One, I have no idea what that is.
No idea.
And Friday, September 30th, has Super Dungeon Brothers for PS4 and Xbox One. Another downloadable put on retail alert.
Okay, that's why it sounded familiar.
Yeah. All right, going to handhelds, which is an even split at 4-piece. September 6th, Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 on Vita. September 13th, Psycho Pass Mandatory Happiness on Vita. and Miku Labyrinth of Death on Vita.
Okay.
Friday the 16th has Dragon Quest VII on 3DS.
Yep, the updated version of it.
Yep. September 20th has Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse on 3DS.
The technical sequel to the original Shin Megami Tensei 4.
And then the 27th has Shantae Half Genie Hero on Vita. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice on 3DS. And Friday the September 30th is Yokai Watch 2 Bony Spirits / Fleshy Souls.
Yeah, it's a 2-cartridge release.
Yep. And that is your retail lineup for September.
Yeah. So, not that much on handhelds, huh?
No, 4 apiece.
Which is why I was surprised that they announced so many games coming for 3DS from Nintendo.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Direct yet, but
I was surprised. Not expecting it. Apparently they have stuff.
Yeah, I mean, 3DS, you're probably excited for Mario Maker, because...
That's really cool, yeah.
I mean, you can't, it doesn't have the online sharing or whatnot, but you can at least own it now.
Yeah. Maybe I can play some of the Giant Bomb levels.
I don't know how that...
Maybe.
Yeah. There's no online sharing, though. I don't know.
Not every one of the levels is compatible, but... maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. I just don't know how that works.
I'll have to check.
And they announced some Zelda amiibos, and okay, those are cool. When in the world are we going to get to Cloud, Bayonetta, and Corrin? Those are the last 3 Smash amiibos. What?
I don't know if we'll get Cloud, because that's Square Enix.
That's part of the deal with Smash Brothers. That was supposedly supposed to be the deal. Yes, if it's in Smash Brothers, it gets an amiibo. Because Ryu is Capcom. He's got an amiibo.
Well, Capcom's a little friendlier than Square Enix.
I'm sure Square Enix would love the cut.
Square Enix is also very desperate for money.
Yes.
Capcom, I meant, as well, was desperate for money.
So Square Enix.
Not as desperate, though.
I'm sure they would appreciate a cut of the amiibo sales, whatever.
I'm sure, yes, but I'm just saying I don't think they're as desperate because they haven't had as many problems.
Okay, then that still leaves the question of Bayonetta and Corrin.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Wait, Corrin didn't have one already?
No.
Huh.
Because those are the Cloud, Bayonetta, and Corrin were the last 3 DLC characters. They've yet to get amiibo. We're caught up to those 3.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get those next year?
I'm guessing.
I don't know. So, that's all the stuff that was coming out, huh?
Yep.
Alright. So, I think we have NPDs as well, right?
For July, yes.
Now it's that time of the month that causes gamers worldwide to be crabby and irrational. No, it's not PMS. It's NPD.
Alright, hit me up with those numbers as quick as you can.
Alright, retail sales are down 14%. Hardware was down 30%. Console and handheld game sales were down 5%. Physical and Steam PC software sales were down 12%.
Okay.
So remember, this top 10 now is the top 10 grossing. This includes digital and their DLCs. So beware of that, and physical and digital sales. We just don't have I guess Capcom's not doing digital either because we don't have it from Monster Hunter. All right, anyway, number 10 grossing game, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It was on sale all month for like $25, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Number 9, Destiny Taken King.
Okay.
Number 8, Doom.
Sure.
We do not have digital sales for that because Bethesda won't do it. Number 7, NBA 2K16. Number 6, Minecraft, with no digital sales because Microsoft won't say that, but...
So that would probably be number 1. if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, retail-wise, it's good enough for number 6.
Yeah, it would probably shoot up to at least number 1 or 2.
Number 5, Black Ops 3.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of sales. I think there's even still one sale going on right now.
Number 4, and the best-selling new release, Monster Hunter Generations.
Okay.
Number 3, Lego Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yep.
Number 2, no Battle.net sales, Overwatch.
Dude, seriously? We have had a lot of good games this year.
And number 1, and I have a feeling this will be number 1 quite often, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, there was a bunch of sales on that, wasn't there?
Well, this is also all your shark cards. This is also...
Oh, they count those?
Yes.
Oh, that's dumb. That's currency. That's not a game.
Then how do you think Destiny is up to 9?
Well, Taken King.
Well, right.
Sales.
I understand that, but even then...
Well, the only one thing you could buy is silver, and you don't need that much silver.
Right, but I mean, there's a currency...
Because all you're getting with it is emotes.
Right, there's a currency there, but then you have a lot of people that pick up a $10 copy at GameStop, and the GameStop employee's like, you can't you miss out on 75% of the game if you don't buy this, this boxed version. No, I just want the $10 version used. Okay, fine. And then now you're paying buku money digitally to upgrade to the current version.
It wasn't that much money. There was a bunch of sales recently.
Okay. But yeah, so, remember last week when I said that Xbox was touting it was the number 1 selling system for July?
Yes.
It was number 1 console. The number 1 selling system was the 3DS family.
No, that makes sense because there was a lot of hype for Pokemon.
The price drop on the 2DS led to 2DS sales alone being 78,000 units, which was a 500% increase.
Yeah, see, that makes a lot of sense.
And the 3DS had an 18% increase in sales.
Yeah, okay.
And 33 months after launch, PS4 and Xbox One are 41% ahead of the pace of the 360 and the PS3.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I guess that'll do it for the show then, huh?
Yep.
All right, so that's going to do it for the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the show through iTunes or the Zune. Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
Slipped right into that old habit. Or the Groove Microsoft Music Marketplace. You can also find us on Facebook. Checkmate Arcade, 2 words. You can follow us there, or you can follow us on Twitter, where we tweet out anytime there is a brand new episode coming out. So at Checkmate Arcade, no spaces. And if you want to follow either one of us on Twitter as well, you can do so at Dark Boss Man for me.
At MSU Hitman for me.
And that's going to do it for this week, where we have been trespassing where we don't belong in a world of magic and mysteries. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
And I can't wait for the new Magic set because it's going to be all artifacts and it's Chandra's home plane. So no more blue. MSU Hitman, Jason Billingsley.
Yeah, you really do love that red mana, huh?
Yes. Give me red all day long. Splash some green, splash some black, splash some white, whatever. Just red is the base all day long.
All right, and hopefully we can get those weird audio issues completely eradicated for next episode, but I still don't know what's causing them, so we're going to do some testing and troubleshooting. But until then, maybe we will see you on the live PSN and maybe even on the net.
Peace out, everybody.